What's good? It's your man Marcus Whitney, and this is the Creative Power Hour, and today's superhero is the best Jason in the world. Welcome to another episode of the Creative Power Hour, and man, I'm super excited. This dude is like one of my favorite dudes on the planet. Jason Ridgel. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my brother?
How you?
Hey, man, I'm good.
Good.
I'm so good.
Good. So Jason and I have met in the last couple of years, you know what I'm saying, through mutual friends and connected on social media. And then, you know, we both live here in Nashville. He's all over the world, and we'll talk about that. You know, really started to, I think, get connected last summer. You know what I'm saying? Spent some good time together last summer. And just a guy who I totally admire. You know, everything that I care about is about, you know, leveraging all of your special talents, your special gifts, and being bold and courageous and you know, using that creative power that you have to make the world the way you want it to be. And this is a guy who I gotta say, like, maybe more than anybody who I know, and I'm gonna give a couple of examples, maybe more than anybody that I know really lives that, right? So here's one thing you do that is distinctly you. Some people talk about it, but like, you do it in a way that it's just it's so consistent. And that is how you dress and you create what you wear, right?
Yep.
So like, it doesn't matter if it's a black tie event, you will be there in a best Jason in the world hoodie. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's really more like a branding thing. He's got, you know, you got to check out his website, jasonvirgil.com. He's got all sorts of different t-shirts, very creative that he comes up with. And that's just like tip of the iceberg on all the different ventures he's got. But, man, like, you can trust. It doesn't matter what the dress code is. You have your own dress code.
Yes.
And everyone has come to just sort of understand that.
They've come into my dress code world. It took a while. But I think the important part of that to understand is that when I did start in corporate.
Yeah.
And so I was a shirt and tie 9 to 5 guy. And I think sometimes people can skip that part. And just see where we are now. And like,
You've always been that way.
You've always been that way. No.
Right.
This was a matriculation, and I grew into it. And it looks really fun, but it was focused. It was to say that I can be my own brand. Right. But before being your own brand was
a thing. Right.
It's like, I wanted to know, what would it be like to wear something that I created every day?
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's on my list of things to do. I'm not there yet. But I look at it and I'm like, man.
It's been some things. And there's little tricks to it. There's little nuances that I've learned. Like, you know, my first big boy watch that I ever got. Was a Hublot.
Okay.
Right? My background, I was a massage therapist for 7 years. Okay. So I couldn't wear any jewelry or anything. Right. I never wore watches. Yeah. So even to have it on was uncomfortable to me. Sure. I lost the first iPhone watch I had. I was on a flight from LA to Nashville. I took the watch off because it was uncomfortable, put it in the back of the seat, and that was lost it. So I'm like, no watches. My guy, Pierre, that hooked me up with the first watch I had, he said, this will be the last watch you have to buy. And I was like, really, bro? Because this is kind of, you know. Right. But he said, the people who you're meeting with, you do a lot of big meetings for medical comfort. He said, they'll know what it is, even if you don't. Right. It's like, all right, man. So, but if it's not, I'm going to show back up. Right. And I want my money back. Right. And he laughed, and he was like, all right, cool. But that was the thing. I would have on a sweatshirt. I would have on, but they would notice, oh, that's the watch of a businessman. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So there's all types of tricks to the trade. Yeah. And guys who know. Right. So maybe I'll do something with the shoes sometimes. So the accessories will always speak. Yeah. A little bit more. It's good. It's good guidance, man. Hey, that's guidance. Yeah. I'm slipping it in, man. I'm slipping it in. We build into it. So we've already jumped in a little bit. I ask everybody to share their origin story. So let me hear yours. All right. Okay. Well, born in Queens, all right, Jamaica. Yeah. Raised in Alabama, college in Tennessee, and then I spent the last 10 years in LA. And then I just moved back to Nashville a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting because growing up, people would be like, well, you got the cockiness of a New Yorker, but you're still a Southern gentleman. Yeah. So I feel like with my family, I kind of got the best of both worlds. Yeah. You know, grew up in Auburn, Alabama, is where I went to middle school. And my family is still there. So country, dirt roads, everybody shout out to Auburn. Not the team, but the people.
I was about to say,
Mama went to Alabama.
Okay, so got it.
We're a family device. It's crazy. Yeah. She used to send me to school wearing Alabama gear. Okay.
What was that like?
My 4th grade teacher still texts me.
I'm saying.
Like, it's harsh. Because that was in the years when we was losing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we lost to Auburn 7 times in a row. So yeah, so totally small town guy, man. Grew up in the country. To us, Birmingham was the big city. I remember moving there for high school, and people actually saying, "Wow, you moving? It's dangerous up there. You better be careful. You moving to the big city. You gotta watch yourself." I was like, "All right, I got it." Nashville. Then I came to Nashville for school, for college, and this was another big city.
Yeah.
Small town, big city guy, and then we moved to LA, and
LA is
the big city.
That's right.
But, right. I figured it's one of the most populated places on the planet.
On the planet, yeah. I mean, outside of China, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Cities in China.
But that told me that hey, if there's a lot of people out there already and they making it, why can't I?
Right. So when did you know you were going to live a creative entrepreneurial life? Like because for me it sort of blends. I sometimes I lose even the dot right on the line. Sometimes I lose the dot. When did you know?
The creative life, I knew I would live that my whole life because I grew up only child, and so I mean,
me too.
That's ours.
I got half siblings. I don't want them to think anything about me saying that. Yeah,
but we grew like I spent time alone.
Yeah,
like we lived in a space where my mom wouldn't get home from work till late.
Yep.
On the weekends, it was just me.
Yep.
So, unless I was at grandma's house, that's where my friends were. But other than that, I grew up, I spent a lot of time alone. So that is a lot of coming up with games to entertain yourself. I have built castles in my brain.
I didn't even think about that. Man, all the days after school, I'd go to my grandmother's house, and it was just me and her, and she was doing whatever she was doing. Yeah. And I would go off in this room, man, and I would make a world. I didn't even think I'm glad I asked you this, man. I hadn't even thought about that.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And that's since I was young, right?
Yeah.
So going outside, like I said, I created castles. I built moats. I would pretend I was in Wimbledon. My grandma used to let me hit a tennis ball up. I don't know how she let me do this. But our carport garage was right up against the house, and they bought me a tennis racket, and I would boom, 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 and I played in every major by the age of 12 and won. And after tennis season was baseball season, I'd throw the ball on the top of the house, and you know how it goes like that. It would roll back down, and I'd leap and catch. So I've been creative my whole life. The entrepreneur part, I think that was born out of necessity. Mm-hmm. That's okay. You 16, you want this. Folks ain't giving it to you.
Right.
There was no allowance. I don't think I got allowance. I think you know when I got allowance? When I got to college. And you know how much it was? $20 a week.
Yeah, I remember the $20 a week.
You remember $20 a week?
I remember $20 a week.
But do you remember the girls in college had like hundreds? They going to the mall and shopping, buying clothes.
Well, them, and then also the football players who was getting supported by the boosters. I mean, like the cars and the clothes. I mean, my God,
everything. Man. And we I'm looking at $20.
Right.
You got to eat off of it. You got to get to the. Oh, it was free before 10. We in the park.
You in there. You in there. Yes. Okay. when, like, okay, so I get that. I get this, the 16 and the need and not, just, no one giving you anything. I get that. We were talking earlier about being that person in your circle, right? And it's interesting because I've got a little bit of that too, and the only child thing. I'm starting to pick up on a couple of similarities here. You Queens, I'm Brooklyn, the northern southern thing. Yeah. I'm starting to pick up on a couple of things. What when did you sort of step into this place where you weren't just creative and you weren't just an entrepreneur because you wanted things, but you were getting it for your people? You know what I'm saying? Like you sort of became the person on your team. And that was obvious to me the first time I saw you with your people. Like it was really, really obvious that you were the guy. You know what I mean? So just like what?
And to that, and you'll probably understand this, you grow up only child, your friends become your family, right? And that's something that's really true that I think some folks might not really understand about us, is that when you're talking about my friends, you're really talking about my brothers and my sisters, because I didn't have that growing up. So to bond with somebody, it's way deeper than that for me. So I have to say that before I say anything, because that I wanted to be the man for my people. Okay, that's a difference. I didn't trip up and one day discover it. You understand? Like I desired that. I wanted it to be on my back. Now I didn't know what I was asking for, but it was a desire, and that's been what you see. So my medical company started 7 years ago, and it was super, super tough. We didn't do well the first year, not until the end of the year. When it started to grow, the first thing I did was go and put on my friends. Like that was. You would have thought I just got into the league. You see what I mean? Because I saw that my dreams could come true, but so could theirs. And that was past balling, right? That was
right.
Because your friends don't really care about that.
No.
Now the acquaintances, they about to bottle up.
Yeah.
But your friends, they had deeper things that they were going through. You see, they had family, they had issues, they had health issues, they had all these things. And when I saw that, and I saw that what I was doing could ease that, I'm putting in 24 hours a day, bro. 24 hours a day.
Man.
Yeah, you feel it, and I know you.
No. I mean, like you're putting pieces of my puzzle together for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. So man, wow. So let's jump into present day, man. If anyone has watched any of my previous episodes, and sorry for those of y'all who are listening, not watching, but I don't normally have stuff on the table, but today I've got things on the table. Of which I've had all. I started here, and then I recently moved to here. Yeah, you got some for everybody, homie.
Hey, exactly.
Yeah, man. Like, so you have this medical business. It's been going well, and then you decide, you're not just going to be in a business that helps connect people with pain relief, options and things like that. But you're going to go deeper into the creative path and start bringing your own products to market. So this gets, this is taking what you're doing on the fashion level and really doing it, right? Like really bringing it home, right? So you've got Guidance Whiskey, which you launched at the end of last year. Is that fair, or is it really this year? It's really this year.
Really this year.
This is the launch.
3 months ago.
Got it. Okay. And then Alkaline Go, which has been
that's been around.
Is it a year?
Alkaline Go has been around a year.
A year. Okay, I thought so. Okay. So first, give a quick elevator speech for both of these products, and then I want to go into the backstory on each one.
Okay. Yeah. Guidance, worked on it for 2 years. Just actually woke up and wanted to do it. And I think I told you earlier.
But yeah.
I was like, I get high off of people's dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watching people achieve dreams actually fuels the fire for my own.
Right.
So seeing all the liquors out,
right?
You wake up and eventually you're gonna say, man, okay.
And by the way, let's just keep it real for a second. Like, if you're a black male in America, right, you see more athletes and musicians doing well than you do businessmen, right? And so just optically, that's what we have. We see that more, right? And you see a lot of, not so much on the athlete side, but certainly on the musician side, a lot of association, a lot, you know, Diddy, Jay, you know, like you this is what you see. So yeah.
While we talking right now, you just helped me make my next T-shirt. It's gonna say "Businessman Rockstar."
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So
I want a byline on that.
Exactly. We gonna get your shirt, "Businessman Rockstar."
There we go.
Businesswoman Rockstar, because
I made it. I made a shirt.
Because that is exactly the truth. I mean, in trying to get this out.
Yeah.
And this is, remember, we've only been out 3 months. In the conversations preceding up to this, I was told, "Who are you?"
Right.
Who are you? You're not a football player. You're not a rock star. Why is anybody going to buy your liquor? What is your story? Who are you? These are words that, and as I sat there listening.
Yeah. Laughing.
I mean, laughing.
Like
just laughing.
Right.
I thought to myself, you'll see.
Right.
I thought to myself,
oh, you don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
Oh.
I think, what was it, Mystical? I might not be nothing to you, but I'm on this label. Right.
Yes.
That is the thing. And so that pushed me even harder.
Yeah.
So, but to let you know about this, I couldn't have done it by myself, right?
Yeah.
So got with Stacey Diltz.
Okay. Yeah.
Who is the wife of one of my frat brothers, but she's also from Birmingham.
Okay.
We went to high school together, and she had so much knowledge of the liquor business.
Okay.
And sat down. At first, I was gonna do a sake because I was just gonna be, you know, bust their head.
Right.
First black dude with a sake.
Right.
I can't drink sake every day. I tried it. I tried my best. I was gonna bring y'all that, but didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so she ended up pushing me towards settling on a whiskey, and then helped us find the people to formulate it for us, bottle it, and then we were off to the races. But the process took us over 2 years to do. And for the whiskey, it's small batch.
Yeah.
Small batch. So we only produce 1,440 bottles of the first thing. So
that's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing.
So I know a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that drink.
Right. Come on, 1,400 bottles, man. That's just not.
That's not a lot. But then it changed to making it. We don't want to make a lot.
Yeah.
You see, that's something. Yes. That's a little different now, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't want to make millions and millions of bottles and be no.
Right.
We gotta keep it.
Make something special. Something
special.
Yeah.
So
it is special. It's a special product, man. I mean,
smooth as Baby D, Billy. What do you say? Smooth as Billy D. Williams.
Yeah.
Laying on the ice cube.
Yo, why is Billy D. Williams such an easy visual?
Because
so you talk about personal brand.
Listen,
man. Before there was a personal brand, there was Billy D. Williams, man.
Do you know the flight I saw you on that flight to London?
The London
flight.
Yeah.
When I was coming back, Billy D. Williams was on my flight.
Shut up.
The man had on. Okay, this is on the tarmac. Man had on a full suit, like some. I don't even want to lie on what type of shoes he had on.
Right.
But and then his assistant was a guy with a suit on, and we were on the thing traveling out to the tarmac, and I was like, man, I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna bother him. I ain't gonna say, man, that's Billy D. Williams.
Right.
Bruh, hey, Mr. Williams. I'm a big fan, sir.
I see you.
You know what
I see you.
And you know what he said?
What?
He said, oh, thanks, young man. In that Billy D. Williams, just cool voice, I was smiling for 3 days.
That's a moment for life right there.
Right.
That's a moment for life, man.
So, Billy D. Williams, if
We all grew up watching Billy D.
If
man.
you're listening, Billy D, if you want some of this guys, we got you, bro. We got you.
Yo, man, he was a killer selling that Colt 45, dog. Imagine what he could do with guys.
Did anybody know?
Yo, he would sell out them 1,400 bottles on one Instagram post.
I have to go get
one Instagram post. Done. That's the kind of influence you need.
I need to talk.
You need to get to Billy D, man.
Billy D. Williams, if you're listening, we need to talk to you, bro. We got you. All the bottles you want. Because did anybody even know what Colt 45 was?
No.
And did they know what it was after?
Well,
is it still around?
I think it's still around. I mean, a bunch of stuff is no longer around. Like, I don't think Crazy Horse is still around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you remember, you
shouldn't be.
You remember. You remember there was that the golden era of hip hop where it was like 40, twist past the 40 twist the top, all that stuff.
Baby.
Dog, man, yeah. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking about malt liquor.
It's all right.
We talking about guidance.
We talking about guidance.
So this is a special product though, because
yes, it is.
Living in Nashville, living in Tennessee, living in the South, whiskey and bourbon is kind of that. Tequila has been on the rise a little bit, but definitely whiskey and bourbon. This is the staple. This is the staple, and you probably more so than if you lived in the Northeast or the West Coast. You drink a lot. If you drink. And you drink in the South. You drink a lot of brown. You drink a lot of brown, right? And so I've had the opportunity to taste a lot. And man, this is the difference between. And then you start to know the difference between a good brown and a bad brown, and that's a great smooth whiskey, man.
It is we only aged it 2 years, which got the attention of a lot of people because most of the time your whiskeys are aged 10.
Yeah, 5, that's a young because it's a young.
It's young, but that's where some of the flavor and taste comes from. It's new charred oak barrels. We only use new ones. We no recycled barrels.
So it's fresh.
The char's fresh. So it gives you that sweetness, that smoothness that you want. And I mean, I just shipped some out to Cali, right? And my guys, because my friends drink, so you can't play.
That's the other thing I was about to say.
We could not play with this.
No,
I can do a lot of stuff with shirts. I can do some other stuff,
right?
But when I came with this, it had to be what we said it was. And my guys out there were like, "Man, we ain't gonna lie to you. We ain't know what to expect, but this is some of the smoothest whiskey we've ever tasted."
It is, man. It's incredible.
We love it.
It is incredible. All right, so let's talk about Alkaline Go.
Alkaline Go. Okay, so that's a testament to California. I have to give it up to LA for that because even with my medical business, I had to. It was well received more in California than it was in the South 10 years ago because alternative to pills was big out there. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they foresaw the opioid crisis coming or not, but pharmaceutical sales in the South still may be at the top of the charts, right? And so when we were coming saying, "Hey, we want you to use a TENS unit and a back brace and not these opioids," people were looking at us like, "Nah." When you move out to LA, everyone is drinking alkaline water and greens
for sure.
And all these things.
It's definitely a different thing.
And it was different then, but now the push, now that people have moved and now that people open their minds, the South is growing really, really fast. With this stuff. So Alkaline Go, it started from this pH9 cup. pH9 generator was the original, I think you have to have a filter to create alkaline water. And what they did is they took a cup and they just infused it with the minerals.
Okay.
The cup lasts 2 years. You pour water in it, you shake it, and it alkalizes your water. Well, I went to the creators of that and said, "You know what? Help me make something a little more mobile, something," because they're in Sweden.
Okay.
All right. So we wanted something that was a little more mobile, something that we could do final for the United States.
Right.
And we're on the go.
Right.
We're on the go. And at the time when this was out, people weren't carrying water bottles. Can you believe? Now everybody carries a bottle.
Yeah.
Back then, nobody wanted to walk around with a bottle. Where are you going to put it?
Yeah.
So we created a sphere.
Uh-huh.
You could drop it in a little bag if you wanted to take it with you. You could drop it in any of your water, have alkaline water on the go.
Yeah.
And
it's brilliant, man. It's brilliant because it's an additive to what everybody already has. Everyone already has a water bottle.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not like you got to throw away that existing water bottle and go get a new one,
Nope.
right? You just drop this in, whether it's a glass or a bottle, whatever, however you.
And if you got your favorite water, this will just make it better. So
it's brilliant.
There's no separation anxiety from what you've been doing for years.
Which is where everyone gets caught up. I mean, even with this, you know, like I like this, but you know, you can look over there. I got 2 hydro flasks over there, and those are like my favorite. You know what I'm saying? And I just haven't gotten around to like putting that in there. But eventually, that's where it's going. You know what I'm saying?
So
that's going to end up going in my hydro flask.
And it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's why you can grow with it. It can grow with you. My kids use it. My mom uses it. And some people use the cup. Some people use the bottle. Whatever you want to do.
Right.
Some people put it in a bottle. Some people just use it and they put it in their water. They get a water container.
Yep.
Put the bottles in there, and then they just drink from the water container.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not limited on your imagination.
Right.
You do whatever you want to with it. Just get it in you.
Right. Man, so what have you learned? You've now got. I mean, we've quickly rattled off 4 businesses.
Yeah,
that you're running, right? And I'm sure you have more, right? So so what have you learned? Because they're not all the same, right? You know, the liquor business is going to have a lot of liability issues and the regulatory environment. And, you know, and I would imagine to some degree, I know this is a consumer product, but you're making claims, right, about pH balance and things of that nature. So you've got you touch a lot of stuff. You touch a lot of stuff.
It's interesting because most of my businesses and my products reflect my life in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whiskey, I mean, I drink whiskey.
Right.
So why not be drinking my own?
Right.
Now we're in the process of helping others create their own brands of alcohol. And my goal with that is by 2022, I only want to be drinking my friends' alcohol.
Yeah.
If I'm drinking, I only want to be drinking my friends' brands.
Yeah.
Health and wellness, I mean, we live that, right? That's your longevity. You do all these things, but if your health and wellness is not together, you won't get to enjoy it. So this touches that part of me, and it's something where, like, cancer can't live in an alkaline state.
Mm-hmm.
My son's mother had stage 3 lymphoma a couple of years ago, and that rocked us. It changed a lot of things about how we do things. She's a year with cancer-free.
Amazing.
Today.
Amazing.
And, you know, we changed a lot of things. So this becomes, it's not even a gimmick. It's pretty much what we do now.
Right.
We drink alkaline everything.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
T-shirts, B2B sales, medical. What you start to learn, the first thing you mentioned, you said, hey man, you got a lot of businesses. The first thing I learned is not to have a lot of businesses. Okay, because you got to pay taxes on all those businesses. And depending on where you incorporate those businesses, the taxes are different. Franchise, excise. At one point when I moved here 2 years ago, I had 11 companies.
Man, that makes my head hurt.
Right.
That makes my head hurt.
Can you imagine?
That makes my head hurt. I have equity in several ventures.
See, now you're talking.
But I am not the operator responsible for the taxes and the blah, blah, blah.
3 years ago instead of 2.
Man.
And I was getting praised for that. You see
because people on the outside don't understand what the hell that actually means.
They're like, man, you got 11 companies, and all that made people do is want to ask for more.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're doing good. You got this, and this. I said, we got to pay for this, and this, man. Like, what do you mean?
Yo, can we just talk for a second about perception versus reality?
Okay. Whew. Okay.
Like, I don't even know where to start.
What do you want to...
I mean, so when I first started as an entrepreneur, you know, it really wasn't because I wanted to make the most money. it was because I wanted to control my time.
Yep.
And I've since learned that, controlling your time comes with its own consequences, and you have to work very hard, and you have to be, you control your time, but then you got to be your own boss and tell yourself to work all the time. So,
exactly.
Right. So look, I get all that, right? I get all that. But autonomy has been the driving force, right? And quite frankly, if you want longevity, you can't be pulling out of the business all the time. You have to continue to reinvest. You know what that means? It means, I'm driving a 2008 Nissan Rogue with a big dent on the side that I'm not going to get fixed right now. Because that's not more important than a new light kit. Or, you know what I'm saying?
Come on now. Okay, so
perception versus reality, right? Like, oh man, you're an entrepreneur, you're doing good.
Let's go and put it out. Let's put it out there then. Okay, we talking that. 2016 was I bought the first car that I owned since I was 21. So, and I bought a Charger, by the way.
It's a great car.
It's a great car.
Great car.
Love it.
Great car.
Until then, your boy was riding in a 1997 4Runner with 365,000 miles.
That's it. Hold on, did you say 360?
Ran. My son driving now.
365?
That's when I had it. He got it all the way up to 400 right now. So that car has been in our family, and that's with me going to Croatia. That's with me going to Egypt. To me going all over the world. I was driving a 1997 4Runner that's still in my family today. Perception. Let me ask you this: it's tough with perception, right? Because we're not. And I was talking to fellas about this every other day. We're going to make things look good and be high quality.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to do that.
Yes.
So you won't find a flaw there.
Right.
But so you look at our bottle, you look at our packaging. The packaging on the Alkaline Go, we researched it across, I think, 100 countries.
Yep. To
find out what the wording should look like, to find out what colors actually play to people's mind.
Yep.
Like, we put money into research just for the box. So now, but these haven't sold 1 million. We ain't sold 1 million of these yet.
Because that's hard to do.
So sometimes the presentation makes people think, oh, wow, they must be doing great.
Yeah.
This looks wonderful.
Yeah.
Our whiskey's been out 3 months, and we get hit up with, so what's your budget for the ad campaigns that you want to? We're thinking $10,000, and we just like, excuse me?
That really is the magic number in the marketing world, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
$10,000.
$10,000 gets anything done, right?
Yeah, $10,000.
And consulting. Remember, don't forget the consultants now.
$10,000.
$10,000 gets it all done, except making you tenfold on your money.
Except making you $100,000.
Right.
It does everything but actually result in $100,000 in revenue.
So
it's incredible.
How do you change that, right? How do you say, okay, look, this is new, guys. We're getting off the ground. We need your help. We need your support. Without making it look, without sitting outside with a little cup saying, "Hey, I need to."
Yeah. So my answer to that, and it's a new answer. I didn't have the answer for a very long time. My answer for that is what I'm doing right this moment, right? And I think this is true for you. I talked to Josh Mundy earlier today. He was talking about wanting to, get into the investing business, and it's funny, right? Because we just got done talking about you having 11 businesses and having equity versus, and these things you learn over time, right? You start realizing, do I really want to own and operate, or do I want to have ownership in, right?
Right.
Those are not the same things.
At all.
Those are not the same things. And so what I believe is the most important thing I can do, and I'm not even close to where I need to be, that's why I'm working on this, is I need to build a brand building machine. And I'm just starting with me.
Okay.
Because that's that's the delta, right? And it's where if you're dependent, you're weak. Mm-hmm. Right? Like if you need someone else to help you build your brand, that's always an expensive proposition. No matter if you're talking about an agency or bringing in somebody else who has the brand or whatever, that is always an expensive proposition. This has been difficult because we were talking earlier about, we get into this business thing and it's funny, even though you're doing lots of different businesses, you're still doing the same thing. I'm still doing it. When I say I want to start a new business, I'm still doing the same thing, right? I'm still running the same playbook, the same paces. Right. Oh, in this industry, it's like that. Okay, cool. That's a tweak here and there.
Yeah, we're gonna pull this from this.
We're gonna pull it, and we're gonna replicate, right? Creating content at scale on the channels of 2019, right? Which is where everything is actually happening, right? That's where everything is happening. Yeah. TV is dead, right? TV is Netflix and YouTube TV and Roku and Apple. That's what TV. TV is a big phone on your wall.
Pretty much.
That's what TV is, right? These channels, almost none of us are actually doing what we're supposed to be doing on these channels. And the reason is because it's really, really hard. It takes a lot of work.
A lot of time.
It takes a lot of time. Yeah. You make a lot of mistakes. Mm-hmm. It's very vulnerable. It's very exposing to do it. But where my personal experience with this really was driven from two things. One, hitting the wall on what the Nashville brand awareness that I had could do for me and my businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like with all due respect to the National Business Journal, it can't help me much more. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at the limit of what that can really do for me. You know what I'm saying? So that limit, and then just understanding I'm not a fluke, but I'm limited. I'm limited because I don't have this ability, and there's a pay toll there right now, and I don't have the money for the pay toll, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fluke. I know I'm not a fluke because you can't, because the track it's like you, like dog, your medical company, guidance, Alkaline Go, like this is not a
consistency.
This is a real thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is a real thing, and we talked about this. You are the source. Yeah. So how do with the remaining time that we both have alive, mm-hmm. how do we shorten the window of time it takes us to turn this into Casamigos?
Exactly, because that's exactly where that's where we going.
Yeah, I get it. Look, man, I get it. I get it. I get it.
Real business understands real business because
when I look at this, that's what I think.
Right.
That's what I think. I think Casamigos, and I think, how do you get from here to there? I'm thinking about, like, I have a front row seat at watching a professional sports organization at the highest level in this country, mm-hmm. being put together. You know what I'm saying? If I don't maximize and leverage that very, very unique experience,
that's on you.
Shame on me. Yeah. Shame on me. Yeah. That's my bad if I don't do that.
And we get to watch you do that. And see, that's the thing too. We get to see Marcus as he goes through this matriculation,
figure it out.
Right. You know what I mean? And so that's important for us.
So this is important for me. This is important for me. Just continuing to inspire. Just continuing to inspire each other, man. We jumped off the road real quick because we were talking about perception versus reality, but I think it's just a sense of humility, right? Like we have mm-hmm. to build. And honestly, like not even kidding, man, this is really something we should talk about long term. You know what I'm saying? We should talk about this long term because we have to build the ability on our own. Just like you have the ability to create a product and bring a product to market, we have to create the ability to
get it out.
To get it out and to grow it.
And
that's the last part, man.
It's amazing that you said that because really that was when you introduced me, you said the best station in the world. Right?
Yeah.
So That it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I went to one of my friends and I said, what would it take to become famous in a year? In 1 year? What would it take to go from here to here?
Yeah.
And the first thing they asked was, why would you want to do that? And I said, so that I could highlight my own products and the products of my friends. I thought about that. I thought that me having lunch with you, a picture of me and you having lunch 5 years ago was one thing, but a picture of me and you having lunch now is something totally different. I wanted it to be, okay, if somebody sees me and I'm with someone, they're Googling that person to try to find out who they are, which is going to grow their business because they're like, wait a minute, if Jason talking to you, it's about something. And let me tell you what I got hit with, and this is the perception versus reality. I had the idea. I talked with publicists, PR, marketing, all these people, and I told them what I wanted to do, and I told them exactly why I wanted to do it. And I said, listen, if this works, because you worked with me, you will gain so much more. You'll gain so much more.
And what did they say?
$10,000.
I know what they said.
You know what they said.
I know what they said.
But check this out now. But I paid it, Marcus.
And then what?
I paid it, Marcus.
And then what?
And then I got hit with. Well, it really takes 6 months to a year to see and blah, blah, blah. But for another 25, no, we need to go do a photo shoot now because, and it discouraged me because I've worked with over 7 different companies, people like that. And each one of them has basically taken me to the cleaners and not produced anything. And I was trying to do this for us.
Look, I have the benefit of having been in the marketing technology world, and so I've worked with a lot of agencies, and nothing about that surprises me. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not in the brand building business; they're in the agency business.
Wow, so you said something right there.
You know what I'm saying?
You said something right there.
That's not something that you know without getting burned or working closely with them and all that kind of stuff. But that's so many of them. There's nothing surprising about what you just said. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because their thing is to make you keep needing them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now, of course, it's misguided focus because really, if they really do blow you up, it really will be great for them. But like they haven't built their business model around that. They haven't, and they don't know how to be honest on the front end about it either.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because there is an aspect of reality to what they're saying about the amount of time it takes.
Okay.
That's real. But then why am I paying you
$10,000? Yes. Why am I paying you $10,000?
Then why am I paying you that? Why can't I?
Why can't something scale?
Why can't it scale? Why can't you price it to what's appropriate right now and allow it to take the time it needs? Because their cost structure doesn't work for that.
Yeah,
that's why. So anyway, we should talk about that because that's what I'm. So what you're doing
is grassroots now.
What you're doing is what I'm doing, and this is why I won't let anyone else produce it. I need to make all the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I need to learn everything so I can so I can say, here, do it your fucking self, man. Here, you can do it. Now, are you going to need help at a certain point? Yes. Yeah. Would I like to be able to collaborate, partner, whatever with you? Absolutely, especially if I believe in you. But like, you don't need me to do this. But I can tell you how much time it's going to take. I can tell you how disciplined you're going to have to be. I can tell you when I realized I wanted to do it is when I made the decision to stop hanging out and stop drinking because I knew I was going to need another 6 hours of energy a day, and I would need to wake up like that, ready to go. And so that was
a change. Yeah.
That was when I made it. When I knew I was going to do this, that's when I was like, okay, I'm going back to working 2-3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 jobs, man. I'm the bar, bro.
Right. I'm the cleaner. Hey, do you know what's funny about that, or what's actually great about that is that I take that same approach. Like with my kids, I take that same approach with relationships.
Yeah.
It's not when you're trying to do something different, your day-to-day looks different. So I can tell. So when people are talking to me, and this don't matter who you are, I can tell where you are by just watching what you do daily. You see what I mean? Like if you telling me this summer it's gonna be on and you're gonna be ready for it, but you should stop by Pizza Hut today, McDonald's tomorrow. Now I ain't gonna tell you, hey dog, you probably ain't gonna have that.
And it's all good.
And it's all good.
But I can whatever you want.
But I'm not gonna be waking up going to the gym, which is 6 a.m. You see what I mean? And then you gonna go, no, drink a 40 and do that. No, that's not how it works. So I can really tell when you decide that you're ready for something. That goes for relationships too. If when you are saying, hey, I want to be with this man, I want to be with this woman, then your day-to-day starts to change.
It's different.
And if that doesn't change, then I don't even really entertain it at all, because I can tell. So and this is why we're sitting here doing this right now, because of the steps that you took, a year ago? And how amazing is that?
Yeah, anyone can do it, man. Anyone can do it. Like anyone can do this. These things that we're look. Anyone can do it, and not anyone can do it, right? So
I think more anyone, not everyone.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Anyone, not everyone. That's a good one. That's a good one. Anyone, like we are not special, but we are. We're in the group of people that we live and breathe. You talk about how you get high on dreams. That's the thing. Like man, I'm high on creative power. I really it's the thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like the possibility and the commitment to make that possibility reality. That's a strong drug, man.
Yeah,
that is a really strong drug.
You start to look at the world different, man.
And when you've seen it work, when you've seen it, when you remember we were back, sharing a cigar, you know what I'm saying, talking about XYZ, and then look at
this. Then it's sitting right there in front of you.
And then look at this. I remember when, my partner Vic and I were in the backyard of our house, and neither one of us was happy in the jobs that we were in. We were trying to figure out how to work full-time together, and we made the decision to turn Jumpstart into our full-time thing and to go 100% into healthcare. When I tell you I had zero experience in healthcare, okay? When I tell you I didn't know anything about healthcare, I didn't, and this is 2014.
That ain't been that long ago.
It's 2014.
That ain't been that long ago.
It's 4 years ago, man. This is January of 19. It's 4 years ago, right? So that was 4 years ago. And last summer, I walked out on the stage of the Country Music Hall of Fame with the CEO of HCA.
Yeah, you did.
You know what I'm saying? That gets you high, man. Like once you have had those kinds of things, like the first kickoff, at Nissan Stadium for Nashville Soccer Club. When you've had those kinds of things, you just know you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You start to know. You know it's a superpower, bro.
It is, man.
It's a superpower.
It is.
And that becomes like progress and accomplishments become my benchmarks, right? Like that, I can't stay stagnant. So, and I have to see something through to completion. And it's kind of like what you were talking about. My success story for this, my best friend Ben, Ben.
Yeah.
His dad hadn't drank dark liquor since maybe 2004.
Wow, that's a long time.
Since Ben's sister's wedding. And I've known Ben since I was 13 years old. I had never seen his daddy smile. Not one time. Ex-military guy. I mean, great man. Never seen him smile.
Wow.
Ever. Man, he sent me a picture of his dad laughing, joking, holding his bottle. That day, I made it, bro.
That's it.
Like that on that day, Okay?
Hang it up, man. Hang the gloves up.
When I sat around with you and Ben and my boys, and we were there, and we took a toast of something that we created.
That was it.
I won that day.
Right.
So anything that come after that is just gravy, bro.
That's right.
Everything that come after that is gravy. But something is coming after this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Something
Right.
is.
Right.
And that's too why when you said the Casamigos thing, I don't want people to focus. That's
don't focus on
don't get so caught up in.
By the way, I wasn't even talking about the $1 billion thing. What I was really talking about there was the fact that it blew up because of George Clooney's brand, right? That's what I'm saying. Casamigos ain't no different than I don't care what tequila. Like it's probably not a better tasting tequila than 100 other tequilas that came out. His brand
did it.
His brand, and I'm not saying it was not a good product because it is a good product, but
it's a good product. But it's the brand and the machine.
Man, his
Remember
brand.
We talked about that. How did he get it out? How did you start to see it everywhere just like that? And a lot of that was because of his friends.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So circling back to what we were talking about earlier with the consultant and the 10,000 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
One thing I'll tell you is that now the realm that we play in, I've had top ad exec agencies approach me to do work for me pro bono. So and for a minute it bewildered me, right?
Yep.
It bewildered. I was like, wait a minute. How can mid-grade PR people who have a little bit under their belt come to me with 10 grand and a proposal and it's about the money and it's this and this. But these people who created EA Sports, okay, who created Madden, sat me down at the standard and was like, hey man, we created this for you. We love your story. We love the brand. We love the whiskey here. Wait a minute. Well, that don't make sense. Now, money really don't mean... And it became something... I've had more people in position offer me things for nothing, okay, at this juncture, than when I was out paying people to do things for me.
Leverage.
Okay?
Leverage.
Best taste in the world.
Leverage.
So I've grown in that time. You see what I'm saying? I've grown. People, I get to sit down with them and they want to hear my story. I can talk to them about it. But then I also listen to theirs. And when you listen to theirs, guess what you start to find? All these common connections. I mean, Brooklyn. Queens,
right.
Really?
People.
London. Oh, really? You got to start paying attention to the rooms that you're in and to the people around you because you can learn just as much. That touched me, bro. I was like, wow, I'm excited. So we on to the next one soon. Yeah.
But this is a good one.
Oh, this is a great one.
Because
you do one thing for old school told me you do one thing for the check, you do one for respect. This might be respect and check.
One thing for the check, one thing for respect.
And some of those, because in some places your money doesn't work. You get it? So that's why I try to tell people not to chase it, because in some rooms, no matter how, I've been places when
you get locked out.
You can have all the money. You can have all of the money.
Social capital is for sure bigger than financial capital. It is.
Period.
It is.
So you have to have balance.
Yes.
Because sometimes when we're chasing the cheese, we cut off people, right?
Right.
We look at it as a good thing because we're like, look, I'm just gonna close myself up in this room.
Right.
I tell my son this is, you're gonna close yourself up in this room and you're gonna build this thing, and I can't go out with you because I'm working. I can't go to this because I'm working.
Right.
I can't do this because I'm working.
Right.
I'm working on my thing.
Right.
And I said, okay, cool. So after you've alienated people for 7 months and you come out the room with this thing, who gonna buy it?
Who gonna buy it?
Who you gonna sell it to?
Right.
Because ain't nobody seen you.
No.
In 7 months, you haven't supported anybody.
Right.
For 7 months.
Right.
Now, I'm about taking time for yourself. Now, that's something different.
Yeah. You got to learn the balance.
But it's all these hustle stereotypes that people use, which really equates to nothing.
Nothing.
It equates to nothing. So
it's yes and. That's why this is all so hard.
Yeah.
It's yes, you got to go in the hole and work your ass off. And
you got to
be out.
You got to be at
and
this. You got to be at that.
It's yes and. It's yes and. Really, people. I don't mean to belittle it, but people are not really prepared to work as hard as it really does take. Like even hard work becomes sort of a sort of a bit of a cliche, and still people are not really. They're not really ready for the level of work. If this is what you say you want, if you want to work a job and have a great life, look, man, especially in Nashville, it's like almost no unemployment. It's like this is a great place to be. You know what I'm saying? You can work a job, especially in like the hospitality world. Shoot, man, you can eat. You can eat. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many ways you can live your life. But if you saying you want this life,
it's as I like it. It's yes and I mean that was my pops, right? He owned a construction consulting firm, right? Mm-hmm. But before he did that, he worked for A.G. Gaston, which was one of the biggest Black-owned construction consulting firms in Birmingham. Mm-hmm. And he worked for them for over 10 years. And so guess what? He would do that during the day. Oh, man. And then at night, from 6 o'clock, he was out there with his Nissan truck, with the shovels, with the hammers, and he was working. And on Saturdays, he was working. Let me tell you how I know, because I was with him. Because I had to get up. I'm out here hanging doors. And he did that for over, 3 or 4 years? And then, guess what he did? Started his own. When he started his own, though, he already knew how to do everything. Because he had worked for someone. Quick thing people don't know, my company that I started, Just Code, I worked for 3 other DME companies. Oops, did I say that? I worked for 3 other companies before starting my own. Okay? So I didn't just pick up one day and say, hey, I'm gonna start my own company today. I went and worked for some. So it was smooth sailing when I started.
Yep.
Because I had got the game from the people who had done it before me.
Yep.
So that's something in the hustle. When someone says, I don't ever want to work for nobody, I said, well, do you ever want somebody to work for you?
Right.
I mean, well, you going to do this on your own because if you want somebody to work for you, but you don't ever want to work for nobody.
Man,
I don't understand your plan.
I wrote a whole chapter about it. In my book, it's all about side hustle, you know what I'm saying? And like my subtitle is like, how not to burn the bridge you're standing on.
Ooh.
And it's the story I tell in there. I tell a lot of personal stories in there. The story I tell is about my 4 years at Emma, the email marketing company. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I became a tech entrepreneur. I worked for Will Weaver and Clint Smith. And I did what the hell they needed me to do for 4 years. Like that's how I did it. You know what I'm saying? And really it's because I wrote code for them. You know what I'm saying? I wrote code until they were like, we need more people to write code, and you're the only person here writing code, so that means you're gonna have to become a manager too. Okay, yes and. Right? Okay. I'll write code and then I'll manage Kim, who really didn't need management. She was better than me, but you know what I'm saying? But right. But like it's just that point, oh, okay, well now we need 5 people and we need you to just manage, and so well now we need to talk about the business, how the financials look. Okay.
And anytime anybody's ever talked to you, have they ever wanted to know that part of your story?
No. Nobody ever. It's an early chapter in the book because like I need to make it really, really clear how important that was and that is. You know what I'm saying? Like that part.
They want to be 2019.
They got no experience. You got no experience. You haven't done anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand what it means to be a good. To your point, literally, you don't understand what it means to be a good employee, so you can't possibly be a good boss. You can't possibly. Wow. You don't even know what you're looking for.
Exactly. And
you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know how to model for what you're looking for.
I didn't even know how to hire people, Marcus. I didn't know how to hire people. Okay, so
that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Knowing how to hire people.
That's the thing. That's actually the thing. I went out and I took the MLM approach. I asked friends and family. You know what I'm saying? That's what I did. Hey, buddy, what you do? Hey, man, you want to come work with me, dog? And my boys was either like, yeah, sure. Or they was like, nah, man. That's your thing. So when I sat across from someone and actually had to look at the resume, okay, and then figure out, okay, what am I looking at? Because I'm looking at people's stuff. They got more experience at what I'm doing than me. So, and there's a lot of them. So how do I hire them? What type of qualities do they need? What kind of social skills do you need to have to do this? Asking them, hey, so tell me something that motivates you. It's really not.
No.
There's just really not going to get you somebody. Are you a self-starter? Are you a go-getter? Come on, man. I had no idea how to do that. See what I'm saying? And I own.
Man, I don't think you really know how to hire somebody until you've had to fire somebody.
Boom.
Then you understand what the stakes are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Then you understand what you're really doing here. And that's a very, very different understanding of the hiring process.
Right.
Because all hires have an eventual end.
And I don't think anybody thinks about that.
It all has an eventual end. They're either going to leave you or you're going to make them leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you're going to say, hey, we're going.
Yeah.
I think you say we're going in a different direction.
Right.
Is that what it is?
Right. Or you're going to elevate them to take your place. That's the third one. Right? That's the third one. It's one of three things.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of three things, but people get into these things as if they're forever relationships. It's not.
Exactly.
It's not a forever relationship.
Oh, that's good. So you're gonna dump me, I'm gonna dump you, or we're gonna get married. Like, that's the only way this is gonna happen right now. So let's talk about this on the front end,
right?
So everything can be amicable. I think I might write a relationship book off of that. Either you gonna dump me, I'm gonna dump you, or we gonna get married.
Go to Jason's website. He got some t-shirts about this.
I know. And my t-shirt game is gonna be on point after the day.
Oh man, so many. Well, my man, look, we on the discipline front, we're at an hour. So this has been incredible.
I appreciate
We'll have you back, man. We'll have you back. We need to do round 2 of this one.
So, man.
We need to do round 2 of this. I already know this is going to be a popular episode.
I just want to say, man, how proud I am of you, dog.
Thank you,
I
brother.
really, really appreciate you inviting me to your home. Okay, to your home. I know what that means, and you're doing something special for all of us, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man.
I know, brother.
All right, till the next time. Peace.